the the feminist movement, and I must say that I'm a feminist, all right, a feminista. The feminist movement in different parts of the world, including China. I've seen a movement of women owning their bodies, owning their rights. I think in Argentina, we have a strong base of women who want to see things differently. I have hope in the millennials. I have hope in the young people who are of childbearing age right now, because we have the internet, because we have Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. They can organize very easily, and they see the truth against the backdrop of oppression and oppression of human rights from a long history of oppression from a political nature. And so these people that are having babies, they want to do it a different way. And I'm not sure they know exactly how to do that. You've got home birth happening here in Argentina, but I don't feel that it's completely supported. It's not supported in the way that it is in the US or Canada. Canada is the shining example because they train their midwives to work both at home and in the hospital or in birth centers. When you're a registered midwife in any province in Canada now, and it's every province, you are given the green light to practice in any setting. That's not the way it is in the US, not entirely. So something like that would be a blessing here in Argentina. And once again, that's going to come from the demand. And I feel that the feminist movement here is able to promote that movement, sustain that movement, and cause real change. Every change that I've seen in different civilizations, cultures around the world, has been because women ask for it. And not nicely. Women demand it. First they ask nicely, and then they demand it. And what I've also seen is that change happens because of relationships. And on a relationship level, if someone has a relationship with an obstetrician who will sit down and listen to them, just look at your own life for just a moment and look back at the women that you served and how your process has changed as a reflection of this woman asking you, don't control me, but help me find my power. So the feminist movement has to embrace the power structure in the sense of having relationships with them. It cannot be isolated. You have to own yourself, know and embrace and work on your own fears, develop your sense of awareness of your own body, know your moon cycles, know when you're bleeding, when you're ovulating, all of that. That is easy. You can grow a feminist from age 5 to be aware of human nature. women today are the only ones that are going to save normal birth. They're the only ones. Women have to demand it. They have to take responsibility to heal their messages of birth is dangerous, birth is inherently awful, painful, and what we have from a spiritual point of view is the genesis of the fear was that this generation, including my generation and yours, the majority of us were born in fear and separation. And in order to make us feel right, we have to perpetuate it. We have to produce out in the world exactly what we feel inside. We project, fear and separation, that's the normal. But if we change inside and see that we can have love and connection, when I see that at a hospital birth, that's when I have tears of joy. When I see that in all my home births that I've attended, I have never separated a mother. I have always believed in the direction of normalcy, no matter what the birth was, what it was looking like. I have held the belief in normalcy, and I have trusted this mother. I have trusted her body. I have trusted the baby. I talk to babies. They tell me what's going on. And when you do that, it's a different outcome. None of that is taught in any school, in any program, any university, medical education, nursing education, midwifery education, anywhere in the world. Maybe in Holland, because a dear friend of mine challenged the Holland midwifery education system and said, why do I have to go to a doula workshop? Why do I have to go to a hypnosis workshop? Why do I have to go to Barbara's Gentle Birth Guardian workshop? Why do I have to go to a water birth workshop to learn how to love patients, how to connect with them on a deep spiritual level, to see them as a whole being? Can't we have that type of education in school? And so the resistance to change in Argentina spills from the personal fear of reprimand and making waves to the political level of, gosh, if we let everybody operate from a sense of love and connection, we might have chaos. So we have to put laws in place that control the health and well-being of all of our citizens. And there is also money involved in the political system. He who pays the most gets the most benefits. And so if the medical society wants to keep the education the way it is, they'll make contributions to this person's campaign and that person's campaign. And we saw this recently in Portugal. Portugal passed a law that said water birth should be illegal. They didn't talk to them mais da agua. the mothers of water, the mothers who'd given birth in the hospitals in Lisbon where water birth had been happening. They didn't look at the research, either throughout the world or in the hospital in Lisbon. They had hundreds of cases with successful water birth. But someone in the medical society paid money to the politicians and said, we don't like this. We don't like this happening. We're losing control. So let's change the law. Political has always been a reflection of power. And when you combine money, healthcare, and power, it's not for the public benefit. So somebody has to have control over that. And that's why we see the United States in such dire situation. The highest maternity mortality, the widest gap in poverty ever. I'm almost 70 years old. I've lived in the United States my whole life. And I see that what every single person does is a political act. And that's why I come back to the statement that the only way that it's going to change is for women to demand it. It's not going to change from the top down. You can protest all you want. You can carry signs and placards. And it's as long as there is money and power involved, it will not change. It will change if women walk away from it. If you say, I'm not going to use your services. So building birth centers, changing the political landscape of what's offered, and empowering women to know the truth and having less fear around their own bodies. All of those things will help to change in Argentina, in the US, in other places around the world.